Welcome back to Enlightenment Online. I'm glad to be here with you again. More questions have come in to Enlightenment Online, and I'd like to talk about one of them for a moment. Here's the question. Having had some silence experiences recently, I would love to hear more about them. I mean the kind that felt like a wall of silence slammed into me. One friend called hers hitting an obelisk of silence. I do not attach any kind of significance in particular to this. I felt sought out more than it was like I had anything much to do with it. I'm not sure I was even truly in a meditative state at the time. One happened in the twilight between sleep and waking up. Just wondering if and how to hold it, or just to let it go as another passing phenomena that arises on the path. I suspect the latter makes me more comfortable with the impersonal, and I am not sure if comfort is the point. Any light you can shed on this topic would be helpful. This, on a certain level, this is a very advanced question. This is an experience you have to actually have in order to be able to understand what we're talking about here. At the same time, it gives me an opportunity to talk about a basic philosophical stance I have about the spiritual path. This silence, which is a very interesting kind of silence, it feels like a complete stopping. Things go on, but there's a silent space between all things. It happens as the personal side of existence, the personal ego, retreats further and further back into the totality of our being. And at a certain point, or occasionally what happens, is that it falls back so completely that there is not anything to say, so to speak. In a sense, we could say that consciousness exists when there is something in existence. Consciousness exists when there is an object for consciousness to gather around. And when the ego falls back into the totality of our being so completely, the objects remain, the outside world remains, but somehow the connection is softened between the outside and the inside, and this tremendous silence comes up that's not disturbed by noise or by thinking or by objects or interruptions or anything. So this is an important spiritual experience that happens as the personal ego comes into a kind of deactivated point. Many spiritual paths consider this the ultimate experience, this silence. And people talk about this silence as the ultimate, something that they carry with them from moment to moment, constantly, and ally this particular experience with the thought of a spiritual state that doesn't come or go, and sees this really as the ultimate realization. I have to say that's not my perspective. My perspective is that this experience is what it is. It's an important experience because it continues to decentralize the ego, continues to make the ego show itself as just a part of the psyche and not the center around which all the whole universe revolves, as we often think and feel, but that it is an experience that is in keeping with our humanity, meaning that our humanity is about coming and going. I mean, this is really actually very easy to understand if we let ourselves understand this. It could also be a little bit of a come down and maybe a little bit scary, but our entire human life is about coming and going. We are born, we come from some place or no place, we live in this atmosphere of self-reflection, and then we go someplace at some time. So our whole life is about this wave of coming and going. And consequently, any attachment to an experience is, in a sense, anti-life. It's good to have these experiences, and all spiritual experiences. They're very important to have, but none of them are the ultimate. There's no way station, there's no terminus, there's no final resting place that is that is it. If only there were, but there's not. There's the constant wave of life. As we are attuned to that, as we move with that, then something that is beyond this silence, that strangely enough is less dramatic but more potent than this obelisk of silence, comes into being, which is beyond silence and noise, beyond coming and going, beyond anything. It's also extremely simple. It's just where we are, when we are, who we are. It's a characterless place. It's a place that is constantly here because it's every place we're in. So, we'll meet again. Thank you for visiting, and be well.